Good evening, everyone. Heroin on the highway, truckers overdosing, getting behind the wheel, and then putting you in danger.
We've seen it happen twice here in the Tri-State in recent months. The 9 on Your Side I-Team spent weeks digging into both cases.
I-Team reporter Hillary Lake is here to reveal new information that she uncovered and how often truck drivers are using heroin on the road. Hillary.
Well, guys, drug truck driving is nothing new, but police tell me that heroin use among all drivers is up. We are in the village of Cleves, and a truck driver overdosed at the gas station behind me over the summer, creating a potential disaster for this community. But perhaps what's even more alarming is what we discovered that driver told police about his own drug use. Trucks aren't an unusual sight along U.S. Highway 50. But what happened in this truck is a wake-up call for Cleves Police Chief Rick Jones.
If it had been in gear, if he had rolled out and bumped into a station with the pumps, that could have been catastrophic for a small town like ours.
In July, the driver, Christopher Phoenix, was passed out in the cab, high on heroin.
We didn't have to use Narcan on him once we got inside the truck, but once we came back and got him out of the truck, he quickly admitted that he was on drugs.
The 9 on Your Side I-Team obtained a police report that says Phoenix told one of Jones's officers he'd done up to 1 gram of heroin per day for the past 3 years.
I could see that he had a lot of blood coming out of his nose, and he just wasn't acting right.
Chief Jones questions whether Phoenix's employer knew he had a drug problem.
He was whistling while he was talking, and it wasn't coming out of his mouth. It was coming out of his nose. He was trying to explain to us that center part that divides your nose had a hole in it from the repeated use of drugs.
Weeks after Phoenix's overdose, police say another driver named Scotty Kinman jackknifed his big rig on I-74 after he got high on heroin. Millions of truck drivers crisscross the country daily, but just how many of them are driving drugged? The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration doesn't track truck driver arrests. Since 2013, federal data shows roadside inspectors issued 8,000 drugged driving violations to truck drivers nationwide. Truck drivers in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio received around 850, or 10% of those.
The industry does random drug screens. Less than 0.5% come back positive for drugs and alcohol.
Relodyne tells the I-Team Phoenix passed a random drug test in 2016.
I do think he should lose his license and his CDL.
For now, Phoenix won't drive a tanker truck through the Cleves community again anytime soon. Relodyne has fired him. And remember that second driver who overdosed on the interstate? His company tells the I-Team law enforcement never told them about his arrest. The I-Team has learned they don't have to, raising questions about who is responsible for telling trucking companies when a driver drives drugged, so the roads you drive on stay safe. Christopher Phoenix's attorney tells me that he entered an inpatient rehab last week. That's part of a deal he struck with the Hamilton County Drug Court. And he is also not allowed to drive at all. His CDL and his regular driver's license are both suspended. We'll get into that new information about that second driver and answer the question about who's responsible for notifying trucking companies when their drivers get arrested for drugs. It's coming up tonight at 11. We are live in Cleves. Hillary Lake, 9 on Your Side.